Welcome parents. Welcome to our webinar, second webinar, Wonder in the Womb. A phase where we do not see the baby, but that baby, the wonderful baby, has enormous potential, and this is the time where our input will make huge difference. I, Hemali Gada, founder of Hungry Brain, where we focus on nurturing potentials and strengthening bonds. I'm going to share some of the essential points. So in the coming webinar, I'll be addressing fetus, the baby in the womb as baby, as and how the webinar goes. And while you people who are seeing the webinar live, you have an opportunity to write down your questions in the chat column. Do ask questions. We have 20 minutes webinar, and I promise this webinar is going to make a difference in the way you see your baby, the way you see your pregnancy. So we'll start with something unseen, unknown that happens to you. You start vomiting, have nausea, have morning sickness, and a blood test says you're pregnant. A news, whatever that news has to do. But today we are going to focus on what happens inside the womb, what the wonder that baby creates, how wonderful that wonder baby is. From a single cell to a 3.5 kg baby in just a span of 9 months, from no hands, legs, nothing, to a baby who's capable to move and react, respond, learn, and many more things. So we'll see how this journey happens and how this baby is developing the way it is, and specifically what are the key ingredients and how you can play a major role. So along with this, answering the question from Shivali Mumbai, how do I support, what do I do to support my baby while I'm pregnant? So Shivali and other parents, first will understand the baby. Every time, everything that you do adds on to the baby's development. In this span of 9 months, what actually happens is the cells multiply. There's a development of bones, muscles, brain cells, internal system, everything, the skin, hair, everything develops while in the womb. Now, what are the ingredients that baby used to develop? We would say the food that mother eats. That's just not it. That's a part of it. And honestly, this do not play a crucial role also. It plays an important role, but not the crucial role. The crucial role is something I'm going to share in a minute. So apart from the food, from the umbilical cord, the major ingredient that baby uses to develop is the oxygen. This is also available from mother via the umbilical cord. 80% of the oxygen that baby takes is utilized by the development of brain cells. Amazing, isn't it? Brain is the only organ that is developed to a very good potential when baby is born. From zero brain cells to 1 billion brain cells. That's where baby takes birth with. In this span of 9 months, these are the number of neurons that develop gradually. 80% of the oxygen that mother takes goes there. And the 20% of the oxygen that the mother takes in, a baby takes in, goes in the development of the rest of the body. Now here is what you can do to support the baby. The most important thing is have good breathing, and the thing that impacts the baby is your emotional state. Emotional state? How come? Would be a question. Baby gets food and oxygen and that's it. Why emotional state? Would be another question. Now we'll have a demo of it. So just imagine that you're upset. You're angry. Can you have your face like you're upset? You're angry. You're disturbed. You have no mood. And in this mood, can you just smile, being upset, being angry? having no good mood, and you smile. Can you see a difference? The smile has a magic, a miracle. Your upsetness will slowly reduce. So what actually happens is when we smile, the lips, or it could be a real smile, an artificial smile, a made up smile. This smile releases some hormones, and this hormones impact whole of your body. It impacts the environment in which the baby is growing in the womb, and this makes baby feel comfortable and develop accordingly. Just imagine if you're doing some work, you have to say just cook food, and there's a pressure going, there's a fight going at home, and there's a music going at home. Don't you think you're going to be different while you're going to prepare that food? So that's a process that you're making, you're doing, but the external environment does make an impact to it. In the same way, whatever you as a mother go through, your emotions play a major role. I would put it this way: the most biggest, enormous support that you give to your developing baby is be happy, be energetic, be full of aliveness, and baby will be having the development of the body, muscles, everything will be along with that. The person that develops is like a giant and alive. And that's what Shivali can do to support your baby. Be happy, be present, be clear, be focused with whatever you are doing. And we live among human beings. Human beings have different moods and emotions and different expectations, and we also have moods and emotions. And if you're upset, have a small smiley, a smiley sticker somewhere in the room and around, which will remind you to be happy. The next question that I'll take is from Ragini from Hyderabad. Does stress during pregnancy affect the baby? Ragini, it does. There's a hormone called cortisol. There's a secretion of cortisol which happens when you're upset, when you're in stress, not upset, but when you're in stress. And the role of that cortisol is to wash away, is to have a negative impact on the body. It shrinks the growth. It gives that uncomfort. I don't want to grow. I don't want this. This environment is not good. Sometimes, if you see babies who've got some, who born with some disability, apart from Down syndrome, if we say some delayed milestones. Why are those delayed milestones? Because while you're pregnant, you have some stress as a mother. The hormonal secretion of cortisol is enormous. More the stress, more the cortisol secretion, and it impacts the development. At that time, suppose there's some crucial part of the body which is developing. Say the eyes are developing, and cortisol's impacting the baby's development right now. What happens is that development gets delayed. If the oxygen level that a mother gets is reduced, again it gets delayed. So whatever you as a mother is experiencing, it's just not your experience. Right now, while pregnant, who you are is just not a pregnant lady. The major role that you play right now is of being a creator. You're creating that individual who's going to have make a difference in this world. This baby in your womb is no different than what Einstein was, or no different than what Newton was, will be developing with the same number of intellectual potential. Why I'm focusing again and again on intellectual potential is because even my hand moving from here to there is a result of my brain giving an order to the hand to move. Everything that we do is out of the orders and the capability that the brain has. And when we focus on the intellectual development of the child, of the baby, everything else is taken care of. The brain develops first and the body develops then. We can see that brain of the newborn, the brain of the unborn fetus is one which controls how the body will develop. So even in unborn stage, in the fetal stage, the brain is important. But for the life, it plays a major role. So you as a mother are not a one who has to compromise all those things, do all those things because you're pregnant, or you're pregnant, you have to take care of baby and everything related to other things. But you are, I would recommend, don't go in being stinginess. Don't have the stinginess of my baby would be doing this, or my baby will be an intelligent baby. My baby is going to be a wonderful baby, a baby who cares of everyone. So that's where you come from. Don't come from my baby will be confident. Why? Why can't a baby be have lack of confidence? If there's a lion, हमारा तो confidence चला जाएगा. So it's not important that baby is confident or does not have confidence, but baby has confidence to do whatever they want to do. Come from full, whole and complete. A baby is complete. At birth, it's got enormous potential, 1 billion brain cells, which are waiting for stimulation that you will give. And with the stimulation that baby receives, in the first 2 days, you'll see amazing things that baby can do, which I'll be sharing with you all in our third webinar, which is on 22nd of September, same time. If you're going to deliver after this date, ensure you watch this webinar and have all your friends who are going to deliver watch this webinar. You'll get that opening, which will become a change, which will become a turnaround for your baby. So we've got another questions. How to improve your unborn baby's development during potential? By Preeti. You've just answered the question. Sorry, I've seen your question a little later. But to have your baby's brain develop, to be precise, have more of deep breathing done. I'm not saying of meditation. Obviously, yoga and other exercises will make enormous difference. And when I say enormous difference, the result of this enormous difference is your baby is going to be an active baby. I repeat, the baby is going to be an active baby. If you want a baby who's going to follow you, please be calm. Don't do anything much. But if you want an active baby who's going to make a difference to world, who's going to be a leader, who can show road, guide people, who will be a role model to many, that's the time you have to do things, and that's the time you have to be ready for it. So go for deep breathing. The more oxygen that you get for the baby, the more oxygen is available for the baby to develop the brain. The next question is by Anita. Is there a music to stimulate baby in the womb? Yes. Specifically Mozart music. That's the music for the unborn. That specifies the baby. Go to YouTube and you'll find it. Another question is, I'm a working woman in the 7-month pregnant. Will working affect my unborn baby's development? By Bhakti. Bhakti, you stay in Gujarat, and in Gujarat, the environment is about guiding and being comfortable, mother being comfortable, taking extra care while you're pregnant. That's what I know about lifestyle of Gujarat. And in that lifestyle, if you are working in opposition to the environment, and if you're working is being a problem for you, then yes, it will affect your baby's development in a negative way. But I would recommend, with whatever struggles you have to face, maybe struggle with the family or the work pressure and your body, if you're able to maintain your peace of mind, awesome. Your baby will get a lot from you. The things that you go through would be a matter of learning and exposure that your baby has. Now, there's one more critical thing that happens while we're pregnant is we're going to develop, nurture something which is very crucial, which plays a most important role for the rest of our life. Till the death, or till we are alive? This question comes a lot of time, which is, what is our mother tongue? Now, mother tongue is generally we say that a language that baby is born, the family language. So I would put a question here. Suppose if a mother is like Shivali, Gujarati, a mother is being born and brought up, a baby is born and brought up in a Gujarati family, but the mother is say Maharashtrian. Now, what would be the mother language be? Gujarati or Marathi? We always stuck with those questions. But the fact is something else. The mother tongue of the baby is the language that baby listened while he was in mother's womb. Now, I being pregnant, if I'm a Maharashtrian married to a Gujarati family and people around the family are Gujarati and I can speak comfortably in Gujarati and I think in Gujarati that my mother tongue is Gujarati. But I am not comfortable with Gujarati and Marathi is something that I've been brought and brought up. Now I have to think, where do I go for a dinner today in English? If I have to think, should I buy this or this? If I think, I'm going to get a call, whatever, blah, 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 blah. The language in which I, as a mother, is thinking is the mother tongue for my baby. So, mother tongue is not the language that you and I are born a family as a family into, but a language that we were exposed even before what we were born to. Now, we'll have this question as how do I interact with my newborn baby by Lopa in Calcutta. So Lopa answering how will you interact with your newborns? We'll have it in our fourth webinar. But now we're going to focus on how do we talk or how does our language impact to the baby. So from the different senses, the sense of listening, smell, they're very well developed. The baby listens something every day in, day out, 24 hours, 24 by 7, something that baby hears while in the womb. Mother's heartbeat. The mother's heartbeat is something that baby is ongoingly hearing. And is so soothing, like a lullaby to the baby. So for baby, I'm comfortable because I can hear this heartbeat. In our webinar, the next webinar, the first 2 days, we'll see what baby goes through when suddenly there's no mother's heartbeat around and how will we support the baby there. But for now, we'll understand the years of the baby is well developed even before the birth. So whatever you speak, whatever you hear, whatever comes across you as a pregnant lady comes across is being come across by your baby also, and that's a part of your baby's development. The language, the emotions, the moods, the food that you eat, the smell of that food, everything has been captured and taken by the baby. You play a very important role during those days. Whatever you're exposing the baby plays a very important role in the baby. Apart from that, you hear something, but the unheard that you listen, which impacts your emotional level, they play a very crucial role. When your husband says, आज मैं थक गया हूँ मुझे बात नहीं करनी, I don't want to talk with you, I'm tired, and you are upset, you say, come on, I'm also being tired, whom do I share if it's not you? What will you come through? What will you face? You will not say him anything, but you'll say, come on, this is the time when I need you, and you're not with me. And this is what baby learns. This is the time I wanted you be with me and I don't have you. I'm alone. What are the messages that you want to give to your baby? Have those in your thoughts. You are the creator. After birth, who you will become is a person who will be taking care of. You will be a caretaker. The phase that you have right now is just for right now. And the strength that you will have of the bond with your baby, this strength during this 9 months play a major role. This strength will be there till lifelong, the last moment of the baby's life. So you are alive, you're not alive, the strength of your bonding will play that role to that level. So you are a creator. Be conscious whenever you create. How can I teach my baby anything before and after the birth, which Archana from Gurgaon had emailed us yesterday. So Archana, as you say, you can teach anything and everything. Teach being compassionate to baby. Don't go with materialistic knowledge. Who's the prime minister and who's this and this is a tree and this is a flower and this is donkey and this is monkey and this is elephant. We don't want to teach jargons to our baby. This is about knowing the world. What you want, what you can actually teach your baby is those qualities. Being compassionate, being lively, being polite, being loving, being caring. When you as a mother have those things, those are the emotions, those are the hormones that go on secreting in your body, and those play a very important role while your babies develop their body, and they'll reflect in the way baby speaks, talks, and everything. There have been researchers which say that baby they cry on the day of birth with the accent of their mother tongue. This I am saying for you to get present to the accent that a person has. Baby is even grasping it to that level that it starts crying. The first cry which is impacted by your mother tongue, by your accent. A baby who's not been crying in the womb takes that sound, and that sound has that accent imbibed. So that's the role that you play. Over the net, we've got a question from Suvida, how to talk to the baby in the womb. So Suvida, that's what we'll just, we'll be talking to the baby in the womb like we're talking. We will be talking to the baby with the focus to the baby, or whatever you're talking, baby is listening. And that's how it goes ahead. How does stimulation help a baby develop? Question by Bijal from Mumbai, Kandivali. Stimulation, stimulation, how it develops? I'll go to stimulation. What is stimulation first? Stimulation is anything which speeds up or takes you to the journey of development. It's not a pressure. It's something that happens. Now, every development that baby has, apart from physical development, that's developing the body and the brain cells, stimulation play a major role. So, the stimulation that you can give right now is whatever you think and whatever you're getting exposed to. But after the birth, we'll see in our fourth and fifth webinar how stimulation and actually, and also in the third webinar, how stimulation will make a drastic difference to baby after the birth. Because after the birth, when you stimulate the baby. While you're pregnant, you do not stimulate the baby as you stimulate the baby. Yeah, you may stimulate the baby while having some music around, what you talk around, but everything will go with the filter of the mother. Just imagine mother does not want noise, and if there's a music going on, will that stimulate a baby in positive way? No, it will be like, oh, hmm, I don't want to hear this. And then that music will not impact those. So to stimulate the baby, apart from what you can do, I would say is be happy, be energetic, be passionate, see the best that you can do. I'm on a bed rest. This is the last question that we've got from Prachi. I'm on bed rest with a lot of medications. My concern is whether this will affect my baby or not. Prachi, your medications may affect the development of your baby physically, mentally. The doctor would be the right person to say, but if you're concerned about being pregnant and having bed rest, and if you have a lot of concern about these pills, impacting your body, impacting your baby, obviously that will affect. Your bed rest will not affect the baby that much, that your mental stage will affect. So be present to your mental state that you have. Every message that you have, every thought that you have is a stepping stone and adds on to your baby's development. And this development is for lifetime. It's going to be enormous difference. So we got few more questions by Kisan. My baby is 7 month pregnant. So हम जो भी baby से बात करते वो समझ सकता है क्या? So babies get emotions. They get sounds. They were not able to understand word as word. I mean, if it is mama, Kisan, your baby will not understand that this is mama, mama says what. But the repetition of that sound, yes, baby can understand. For us, we would say, baby, बच्चा क्या करेगा, क्या capable है. While this is what I'm saying about being in womb. But I've seen parents who have a baby 3 month, 4 month old, and parents say, what capacity my baby has? Nothing. We miss a very critical part here. Baby is not capable to respond as what respond you can understand. But this is the capability. This will impact in development. So words that you use, ये है, ये कौवा है, and the story of the thirsty crow, that will not. Rather, the words, the accent, the language, and wife has plays a major role during that phase. So missed a question of Sandeep. How important role the mother's mood plays while baby is in the womb? Sandeep, I've already answered the question. The mother's mood play the 80% of the role I would put. That's the crux that a baby grows with. Aishwarya, is there any specific activities we should do for early stimulation? So Aishwarya, when we say early stimulation are the early stimulations which we do with once the baby is born. Yes, it plays enormous role, but that would be in our third webinar. But Aishwarya, and specific activities, when you say specific activities, activities like yoga, deep breathing, being calm, listening to music, being happy, plays enormous, has an enormous impact on the development of the baby. And it was great to know the facts. So these are the questions. I hope I've answered all the questions. Let me check it around. How to talk? Is there any music? Fair enough. Covered all the questions. If you've got any more questions apart from this, you can email it to us on our on our email ID, which is info at hungrybrain.in. It's HUNGRY, hungry brain, BRAIN, hungrybrain.in. And you can also have this video available for your friends on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, link, and it's like you go to Hungry Brain and you see not only this webinar, the previous one which you missed, and the series of webinars which you're going to come ahead with. The only context of having this webinars, parents, is while we are pregnant and we do not have knowledge, we miss the bus. A parent who is completely focusing on her work pressure and does not get present to the emotional state has an enormous loss the baby faces for the life. So there are many more things that we as parents are not aware. So what are the crucial things that we can do in the first and the second day after the birth? What are the things that we can do in the first, second, third month after the birth? What are the things, how will have the generation gap come down? And how do we tell so that the baby listens and child follows us? How do we have the baby who does not oppose our rules but follows what we says? Has that strong bond developing forever? So these are the things that we're going to impart and share with you all, that you are the caretaker, now a creator and then a caretaker. And you knowing this will end up having a baby, a human being, which will make a massive difference in our coming world, in the generation upcoming. So with this, we thank you, and do give us your feedback over the emails. Thank you for all these questions that you sent across. The next webinar, 22nd September, same time, and we'll focus on the importance of the first 2 days after birth that the baby has in your life. And this 2 days actually have a turnaround for the whole life. So see you soon. Till then, keep sharing, keep knowing more what is it that will impact your baby now and later on. Enjoy parenthood, enjoy your babies. Thank you.